Infrastructure Minister assures that dilapidating condition of Jones Road in Mount Morris will be addressed. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report.
Residents of Petit Martinique are invited to a town hall meeting with Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell at the Petit Martinique RC School on Saturday, January 14th, starting from 2 p.m. This meeting will provide an opportunity for community members to learn more about government's plans for Petit Martinique and to engage in dialogue with Prime Minister Mitchell and his team. A special invitation is also extended to all fisherfolk and farmers to join the discussion. Come out on Saturday at the Petit Martinique RC School starting at 2 p.m. Your input and participation are crucial to the success of government's transformative agenda. We look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome back. With the details to the news for Friday, January 13th, 2023, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. Movement of land in a section of Jones Road in Mount Morris that serves as a detour for commuters on the western corridor is now a major concern for the government of Grenada. The road has been in use since the closure of the Molyneux Main Road in December 2019. On Friday, Infrastructure Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall, accompanied by a team from his ministry and the NDC caretaker for St. George Northwest, Senator Jonathan Lacret, visited the area to have an appreciation of the reported damage. The Infrastructure Minister says the solution at this time must be a permanent fix, and so motorists and residents will have to make a significant sacrifice for at least 2 weeks.
To do so, we need to close this road for at least a 2-week period to ensure we can actually rehabilitate the slippage on spot here. We have to fix the drainage here, as well as we have to ensure that after we have done it, taking the 2 weeks period, we will be able to have a smooth flowing road without difficulty. But then again, we have to be mindful that the truck drivers that are using the road to still ply the trade is doing something that's illegal. At the entrance of that road, there is a sign by the police that says, no trucks allowed. And if we continue to allow those trucks to come in and damage the road and so on, then we'll be basically spinning up in mud. So, I am going to be meeting with the stakeholders to ensure that we can have this road rehabilitated in the shortest period of time. But there will be challenges, there will be pain, people have to use alternative route because this one would not be available once we start fixing it.
Honorable Cornwall says his government wants to ensure that the information is circulated through the various forms of media before announcing a date for the start of the project, which he says is urgent.
This road is gone as it is right now, and we need to basically put in place a fix that allows the traffic to continue here on the Jones Road until we're able to fix the Molyneux landslip project area. Now, I am hoping that we can basically start this and finish it in the next 2 weeks. But again, I want to basically give the media time to inform the general public what we are going to be doing. I know we have to get the buy-in from the police and the Ministry of Infrastructure. We have to get everybody on board to ensure that when we do it, we minimize the bickering and the complaints about there is no access to the West Coast via the Jones Road on Mount Morris. But we have to do it now, because if we don't, the road will be gone and there will be no road to pass. So we want people to very much understand what we're trying to do here. We are not trying to put you in a situation where you're going to have more pain, but if you don't try to address the pain right now, it will become a bigger pain down the road.
One of the major contributing factors to the deterioration of the road is the blatant refusal of some truck drivers to adhere to the no truck signage erected by the Royal Grenada Police Force.
I'm pleading to the Grenadian motorists, be careful what you do, because you could basically kill people on the road by doing what you're doing. You cannot be coming on the road and it's a one-way route and vehicles coming the other direction and so on, without notice, without information and so on. That doesn't make sense to me. We have to adhere to what is in place to allow the smooth flow of traffic. If not, we all will have to basically bear the painful trek around to Willis and those places until we can find an alternative for this road.
Caretaker for the constituency, Senator Jonathan Lacret, is very concerned about the impending dangers that can occur as a result of the current condition of the road.
Currently, the road is badly compromised and motorists are currently being affected by the sink and the breakage in the road. Based on what we're seeing here this morning, the possibility exists that the road may have to be closed. After consultation with Cabinet, of course, NAWASA, RGPF, and the residents of Jones Road, a decision would have to be made as to how we move forward from there. But grave concern.
I know we're right here at this particular slip, but I know you've been traversing the area. There are some other concerned areas as you go through the Jones Road. Once the go-ahead is given, is it that you would see a comprehensive bit of work being done in terms of dealing with the other areas that are hazardous?
Most assuredly, because even after the Molyneux Road is finished, we still have to come back and ensure that Jones Road is properly taken care of. So at this current moment, I think the general consensus would be to do a complete overhaul.
In the last quarter of 2022, head of the RGPF Traffic Department, Inspector Randall Batiste, made a clarion call for truck drivers to refrain from plying their thread through the area. Moving along, the mandate of the Marketing and National Importing Board can only be fulfilled if government and farmers work together to improve the agriculture sector. That was the concern of many contributors at Guab St. John during a consultation held this week with Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell and other government officials to chart the way forward for the Marketing and National Importing Board. They say there can be no MNIB without consistent quality food production and an organized industry. Prime Minister Mitchell agreed with the farmers and assured that there will be more consultations on how the agriculture sector can be boosted in the near future.
This was meant to be, to some extent, limited to MNIB, but I think many of you, in your wisdom, have clearly indicated that it's perhaps more with agriculture, and MNIB is one cog in that wheel. And so I certainly will tell you that there will be more consultations specific to agriculture in general, because there's a lot of work for us to do to bring back food security agriculture to the heights it once held in Grenada. And yes, there are significant tracts of land on the West Coast that are lying idle. So land policy is one of the issues we have to address: land ownership, sharecropping. And so I agree that we can't talk agriculture and allow the land to grow in bush.
Farmers and stakeholders suggested that with increased and smart production, there will be no need to completely close MNIB.
We as farmers have a serious problem. There is what you call glut and boom. Our production is very, very unstable. Sometimes when tomatoes in the market, it's in abundance. Lettuce in the market is in abundance. And at times, there is none. And I could understand that marketing board has a problem if they have to source market for all of our products. We need to be more consistent as farmers with our production. When farmers reach a stage where the marketing board can realize a guaranteed supply, now they can move to export in the they can now sign contract with overseas market for a guaranteed supply because they know the farmers are reliable enough to give them that amount of produce that they're looking forward to.
One of the greatest challenges that we have facing farmers here, and all of us can attest to it, me for myself as a young farmer, is the cost of what we buy to produce the crops that we produce, namely fertilizer, feed for animals, pesticides, and these other things. Mr. Prime Minister, it is not easy for us as farmers fighting with these costs. And if Marketing Board has to make any real improvement and want farmers to be sustainable and to sustain their production to Marketing Board, the Ministry of Agriculture have to look at a way of subsidizing costs as it relates to pests and diseases, as it relates to pesticide, and as it relates to manures and so forth for farmers. We cannot compete to buy a bag of manure for $225, and at the end of the day, Marketing Board is the entity that really purchases from farmers sometimes at the lowest cost. So why would I be interested in selling for Marketing Board when they give me $5 a pound of pepper and I can sell for another entity that gives me $7 and $8? At the end of the day, it is difficult for us as farmers to really be on board with Marketing Board. And if they want farmers to be on board with them, the government as a whole have to look at ways to subsidize costs for farmers, subsidize pesticide, subsidize the feed for farm animals, subsidize the cost of fertilizers, because it's really becoming difficult for us as farmers to maintain our production and to reduce our cost of production buying the farm products at the cost we are buying it presently.
On the western side, we have 3 big lots of land that is almost waste. We have Douglaston, 600 acres, nothing done. We have Black Bay, 92 acres, nothing done. We have Bocage of over 100 acres. So we're talking about, on the western side, over close to 900 acres of land that are in abandon, more or less. Where are we going? Is Marketing Board looking at those areas? What can we plant or what can we grow in those areas to alleviate what is happening? I am hoping that all what we are saying here is married towards the land so that we can produce more and their way look for where Marketing Board is going.
The hundreds and hundreds of acres of lands that we have there, wasting, not being utilized, it's unfortunate. At this time in our history, we are discussing it. It should have been 20, 25, 30 years ago, because agriculture is the background, is the backbone of our country. They're hinge. So we cannot speak about Marketing Board and don't speak about agriculture. It's pointless, because what happens in agriculture will obviously influence or affect Marketing Board and the way forward.
Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Grenada, His Excellency vgh'n, along with Chinese nationals in Grenada, gathered at the Radisson Grenada Crown Ballroom on Thursday evening to celebrate the coming of the Chinese New Year on Sunday, January 22, 2023. The celebration took the form of song, dance and poetry with the inclusion of Grenadians who are students of the Confucius classroom. Ambassador vgh'n says the practice is one that is anticipated annually as they welcome the Chinese Lunar New Year, and in 2023 it will be observed as the Year of the Rabbit according to Chinese zodiac signs. He says 2022 was a very eventful year and Grenada stands to benefit from the improved bilateral relations between the two countries.
For Grenada, we know that also we are here, we have finished the election last year. There's a new ruling party, new government, but we are very happy to see that after the NEC took over power a year, the bilateral relations between two countries, continue to be strengthened. A cooperation in various sectors also get new momentum last year. We appreciate that Grenadian government sticks to one China policy and paid great importance to the development, to further development of the bilateral relation and practical cooperation between the countries.
The ambassador shared an update on the progress of the MBIA expansion project and the 8th phase of the Grenada-China Agriculture Technical Cooperation Program.
According to the working period, it will be complete by July this year. The China Harbour is trying their best to proceed with this project. And just in October last year, we commenced the 8th phase of the Grenada-China Agricultural Technical Cooperation. 8 experts are in the stage now to implement this important project. We know that agriculture is very important to Grenada. It's one of the pillars of the economy. So I'm sure that these experts will work hard here to promote this modern agriculture.
Ambassador Wei hopes that once the COVID-19 situation is well under control, the people-to-people exchanges can resume between the two countries, which undoubtedly has given both parties an opportunity to appreciate each other's culture and lifestyle. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
The Honorable Dickon Mitchell continues to engage farmers and other stakeholders trading with the Marketing and National Importing Board, the MNIB, in a series of town hall engagements. The third consultation will be held this Saturday, January 14th, at the Hillsborough Government School, Hillsborough, Carriacou, starting at 6 p.m. All farmers, farming cooperatives, agro-processors, cottage industry participants, and other persons who conduct business with the MNIB are hereby invited to participate in this very important discussion on the state of the MNIB and the way forward under the government's transformative agenda. A special invitation is also extended to all fisherfolk in Carriacou to join the discussion. Come out on Saturday at the Hillsborough Government School, Hillsborough, Carriacou, starting at 6 p.m. and be a part of this important conversation. Your contribution matters.
Welcome back. A check valued at 1,000 EC dollars was presented to the Grenada Cancer Society on Thursday by the Lions Club, a service-oriented organization geared towards lending support to individuals in need. Service chairperson for the Lions Club of St. John, David Hopkins, said the club will continue to lend its support to children and families. Additionally, a $500 check was presented to assist a child undergoing treatment for leukemia at the health facility in St. George.
The Lions Club of St. John's, one of the focus area has to do with cancer, and we want to put our bit out there to support persons living with cancer to help prevent the spread of cancer as the case may be, as well as to encourage the Cancer Society to join with us in our work for dealing with and alleviating cancer on the western side of the island. And we look forward to working with the Grenada Cancer Society in the area of prostate cancer for 2023 so that we can help influence the lives of our men in the area so that we can live healthier and more comfortable lives if we do contract it or to prevent it.
Sonia Nixon, president of Grenada Cancer Society, expressed gratitude to the Lions Club of St. John for standing in solidarity with those who need support.
I want to thank you guys on behalf of the Cancer Society for this thoughtful gesture. We know that it costs to care, but we also know that it costs less to care if we focus on prevention, primary care, education, early screening for disease. And so we are happy to collaborate with the St. John's Club again, as we aim to really decrease the potential for death by cancer in Grenada.
And with that story, we come to the end of the National Report for Friday, January 13th, 2023. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.